158.87 feet. The early leader in a Ford with a Chrysler engine.
Wayne Roush, a much better pull. Just lightened it up a little bit, but I think you really drove a lot better pull that time.
I don't think so. I think the truck pulled just as good the last time, but the sled was reset. Just let it go a little further.
Well, thank you very much, and let's see if that holds up, because you're up number 1 right now.
For right now, huh?
All right.
Hog farmer Bruce Hutcherson, Patriot, Indiana. One of the named pilots in tractor pulling in
Last night
super scooter.
competition, they missed the weight on the truck, had way too much weight on the nose. What a shot! Super scooter taking it right down to the limit, hooking a little bit to the left.
A little to the left, almost out of bounds.
Well, Bruce, I know that you've had a lot of trouble with this truck. You've extended the wheelbase out. You're still searching, and hopefully one of these days you're going to find it.
Well, as you and I talked last night, it seems like that the trucks that do good on a solid track, as which we have here tonight, don't do any good on a looser track. And I just haven't been able to make this one work on this type of a track.
Chevrolet out of Ohio, Roundabush, trying to put them away. Go by the name of the Bushwhacker.
So Terry backs in to hook up for that max effort here at Charlotte. Word has it he's been experimenting with a few things, and this will be the moment of truth for whatever good combination he's come up with underneath that slick-looking two-wheeler Chevrolet. .154.36, and something sounded not quite right midway through his run. Almost like a bad clutch.
Well, we'll wait for Terry to get out of the truck here. Well, Terry, I wasn't bad at pull at all. Now, let me ask you something for the benefit. Did you change gears there at the last?
No, I ran a higher gear than I did last night, tried something new, and it just took a lot more power than it did.
Well, it sounded like the motor kind of dropped down there at the last charge.
Yeah, she pulled her down pretty good.
Ken Lamont and Midnight Express down here from Crossville, Illinois. It's an 85 El Camino driven by one of the top performers in two-wheel drive truck pulling. Even though it's a slick-looking rig, Ken would be the first to tell you it's driver skill, not just power, that brings home the bacon.
Jeff Carter doing a fine job flagging on the starting line.
Here he goes. So Kenny Lamont moves his Chevrolet into first place at the Charlotte Coliseum. 159.85 feet, just 1 foot ahead of the Model T.
Money car style chassis, the whole 9 yards, Mr. Ken Lamont. Well, Ken Lamont, I tell you what, you knew that was a good one, didn't you?
Well, a lot better than last night. I don't know. After the last few runs I've had, I had to go back to thinking about a lot of things, and that might not be the winning pull, but it's a whole lot better than last night.
Now the tension's climbing. Jim Lyons is next from Louisville with his GMC called Stitches. And folks know when he hooks up, things
Once
happen.
again, the #1 GMC in the country in the two-wheel drive category, hooking at the sled. Right now, Lyons out of Louisville, Kentucky, doing the driving. Lamont on top. Rouse at #2. Holdorf just put that Ford in the #4 spot.
Jim takes first place by almost 3
Jim,
feet.
you went up #1. When you left the starting line there for a minute, I thought by chance you were a little heavy on the nose.
I was, just a little.
But the wheels finally picked up. You carried him about 6 inches down the track.
Yeah, I was a little bit heavy, but it turned out good.
Well, good pull, Jim. You're up #1, and we still got 2 more to go, though.
We thank you.
Thank you. They call him
Next up,
Slappy.
Eddie Slappy Sullivan in an S10 Chev from Warsaw, Kentucky.
Back in black. Beautiful truck. If you got a camera, that truck really photographs well. Not going to work for Sullivan. Lions to stay on top of the GMC. Lamont number 2 in the Chevrolet. Ralph with the Dodge to go in the number 3 spot.
Only 2 trucks left, and it's Chuck Johnson from Hallowell, Kansas, driving Shazam.
Johnson had to hit the right brake at about the 100-foot mark. That probably cost him about 10 feet on the run.
Must have rear end trouble or something.
Well, last night you seemed to have a little bit of the same problem, but the horsepower is really there. The engine sounded great when it came down the track.
Yeah. I don't know. Keep sucking left for some reason.
Roush backs up currently. He has 2 trucks. One of them's number 3 right now. He's trying to come back. Put Lyons away. Lyons on top of the GMC Lamont Chevrolet number 2.
Wayne Roush, Dublin, Ohio, now driving the little red truck. Quite a change from a Model T. .162.47 feet. Roush loses by less than a foot.
7/100ths of a foot. He stays to the number 2 spot. Jim Lyons took the win, Butch, by 7/100ths of a foot. Well, I'll tell you what, Jim, I've known him for years. Like I say, in the 60s, he was a modified eliminator drag racing. He went over and does a lot of engine building for circle tracks. We're glad to have him in this sport. How about giving a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, the winner, super modified, 2-wheel drive, Mr. Jim Lyons out of Louisville, Kentucky. If you wear the high dollar britches, you help sponsor Stitches. Thank you very much, Jim.
Be a part of the most powerful sport on earth with a TNT membership. Get 12 issues of Power Tracks, the monthly pulling magazine, a Redman TNT pulling cap, a TNT Motorsports patch, Redman and TNT decals, plus a 10% discount card on all mail order purchases. Send check or money order for $24.95 to this address, or charge it to your Visa or MasterCard by calling 1-800-227-3167. Order now.
The power is awesome. The Redman TNT All-American Pulling Series. From the tough little minis to the 11,000-pound Monster Modified. From the 4-wheel drive Modified to the 2-wheel drive Super Modified. We've got them all. More horsepower than you've ever witnessed in action. Join us again next week for the most powerful sport on earth.